we're going to talk about how to research a character, either for a show, like a play or a musical, or for an on-screen character, like for a TV show, film, student film, that sort of stuff. If you're new to my channel, hello and welcome. My name is Katherine Steele, and I put out a new theater-related video on every Theater Thursday, plus I do bonus uploads throughout the week. If you haven't already and you'd like to, go ahead and hit subscribe. That way you get notified for all future videos, plus you get to join the Theater Thursday fam. First we take over Broadway, and then the world. If you've noticed, I now have bangs. And you would know that already if you followed me on Snapchat, Twitter, or Instagram, which is at Kath_Steele. Seamless transition right there. Yeah, I cut my own hair the other day because I was bored. Okay. I also gave myself layers. Okay. Let's jump into this video. So the very first thing that I do when I get a script is try to figure out the personality of my character. Now the basic personality outline is usually created through the character's archetype. That's not always true, but like a lot of the time it is. So how do you dive further? You can get more clues and insights into your character in one of two ways, or both, and you don't have to pick one, you do both. One, through the script. Two, through your own personal choices. Read through the script as an analysis, not necessarily as an actor looking to memorize, but as someone who wants to learn more about the character. You can learn more about their personality through their backstory, through their actions, through their word choice, what they do, what they say, what they don't do and don't say, the subtext within the lines. You can then see, is your character selfish? Is your character intelligent? Why do they do the things that they do? Why are they selfish? Why are they intelligent? These questions might be answered through the script or not, in which case you come up with those answers for yourself. Being an actor is all about making choices. A script is really just a blueprint for the character and the events that take place in the show. You as an actor craft it individually. So then the question becomes, how do you make those choices, or why do you make those choices? Why? Because it gives your character depth. It makes it more interesting. It makes them more human and less like,
these words were written on a page and someone told me to say this word now.
So now that you have your character's basic personality, their drives, what they want, that sort of basic stuff taken care of, let's go into the weirder, more miscellaneous stuff that you don't usually think of. Let's break this down into two categories. The first category to take a look at is what your character knows. What kind of knowledge would your character have? And this can be like very, very specific, like textbook knowledge, or it can be life experience knowledge. For instance, Jenna in Waitress. I don't know if Jessie Mueller is an incredible baker, but Jenna is. So if you're playing a character that likes to bake, you should do some research on baking and cooking. When I played Christine in Phantom of the Opera, one of my biggest things is that I hung out with a lot of ballerinas. I went to a lot of ballet classes, I sat in on a bunch of ballet rehearsals. I myself am not the world's greatest ballerina. I am not like a dancer primarily, I'm a singer-actress, but Christine Daae has been a ballerina for years and years and years. This is like a varying degree of helpfulness. I'd recommend looking up the important stuff first, and then the rest of it just kind of helps me understand the character better and helps me get into character. By learning stuff that won't necessarily inform my performance, it makes me more connected to the character and understand their mindset and world a little bit better. If that makes sense. I might sound like a totally crazy person, but oh well, what else is new? The other portion of what to research is what your character endures. And by this I mean, what happens to your character in the course of the show that you may not know about. In Carrie, for instance, a lot of things happen to my character that I thankfully have not had to do or have lived through. This is super dark and a spoiler alert, but whatever. Margaret is clearly very mentally unwell in the show, so I did a lot of research. I also, spoiler alert, looked up where to stab Carrie, because you don't necessarily die from a stab wound, but Carrie dies like really fast in the show, like, you know, a minute later. So I looked up where the artery in her back is, like where I should aim to puncture so that she would bleed out in under a minute. Also, she dies. Spoiler alert, big spoiler alert. So I looked up the symptoms of what it's like to have a heart attack. What does that look like? What does that feel like? So I definitely recommend looking up what your character would know and what your character experiences experiences. Other things to research. If your character exists in more than one medium, I definitely recommend looking at your character in those different mediums. If your character is based off of a real person, do research on those people. If you don't know about the composer or the writer of the musical that you're doing, I would definitely recommend doing some research. People like Sondheim have a lot of themselves in the show, even though he doesn't admit it, he definitely does. So yeah, those are definitely my top tips for researching all about your character. If you guys like this video, please go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. It really helps me out. I love you guys so much, and break a leg. I will see you guys next time. Bye! My throat is dry. Nathan! Get over here. Just kidding. He can't walk. He's a water bottle and it doesn't have legs. Don't tell him that though.